Hello and happy Tuesday from this Tuesday baby at Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. How did you do last night without any form of Monday night football? I still got the shiver and shakes, but it'll be August again before you know it. Let's talk bluntly, harshly about this America's team thing. Historically, here's what happened. The Cowboys did not name themselves America's team. It was a label that was put on the team by NFL Films. Every year, when they do the season recap film, they come up with a title. And in 1976, the folks at NFL Films, the Sables, came up with America's Team. And that was the origin of that. Since then, it's gone off in a lot of really different directions. I will tell you that Tom Landry hated the name, absolutely despised it, because he thought it put an unnecessary target on the back of his team and his players. Here's the harsh part. For the first time, maybe ever, this term, America's Team, is now accurate and it's now valid. Because America's Team is completely obsessed with and immersed in its previous glory and its prior accomplishments. Just like America. America's Team, the shoe finally fits. All right, I don't know how even Magic Mahomes is going to pull this off. The guy has got a severe high ankle sprain as confirmed by an MRI. If you know anything about severe high ankle sprains, that's usually 6 weeks at least. And he says he's going to play Sunday, and he is going to play Sunday. And Andy's getting him ready to play Sunday. Here's what's going to happen. He's going to have zero mobility. And he's not going to be able to move around at all. And of course, mobility is a huge part of this game and his game. So this is going to be an unbelievably interesting chess match between Andy Reid and Lou Anarumo, who is the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, because he knows that you know that he knows that you know. Okay, and Andy's going to know that the Bengals know Mahomes cannot move around at all. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they play that. Do they heat him up? Or do they drop everybody back into a zone coverage as they did last year in the second half of the AFC Championship game? Or because he can't move around, do they play more man coverage and feel more comfortable doing that? This is going to be a really interesting chess match. Where would you rank the babyface assassin, Joe Burrow, among starting NFL quarterbacks? I would have him no lower than second, and second only to a healthy Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes ain't healthy. The Bengals defense may end up being the best unit on the field Sunday in Kansas City. Watch Burrow at the line of scrimmage. Watch him pre-snap. It's fascinating. He does a better job of processing information pre-snap and knowing where he's going to go with the ball than maybe anybody in the league, and that would include Aaron Rodgers, and that would include Tom Brady. Top to bottom, the two best rosters in the NFL are the Eagles and the Niners. No question about that. And they're remarkably similar in a lot of ways. That is going to be a bloodbath Sunday in Philly. Both teams are going in pretty healthy. They're not going to come out healthy on Monday morning. Of course, the survivor there will have 2 weeks to get ready for the Super Bowl. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the Bills in the offseason. You know, they've been so close. Expectations were so high, and that city has been through so much with the supermarket mass shooting, with all the people they lost in the winter storm. And then, you know, what went on with Mr. Hamlin that was so emotionally draining. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they fix this going forward and what their next step is. This is going to be a challenge for Sean McDermott, but he is up to it. That man is up to just about anything. And I want to congratulate the Bills fans. Think about this. They really needed the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I mean, not just wanted, but they needed that. And they were kind of counting on that as their salvation. And that game went so far south so quickly over the weekend, you would think that if any fan base would have had a right to boo their heads off, it would have been Bills fans. What do you think Cowboys fans would have done? Let me ask you that question. But it's a different environment. They didn't boo. They had a right to. I'm not saying they didn't, I'm not saying fans don't have a right to boo, but they chose not to exercise that right. And they chose to just love their Bills. And that's why they're a little different, and I hope that they get it back together. So, nobody else is going to take our sacred institutions away, but we seem hell-bent on giving them away. Obviously, our Secret Service has been infiltrated. Obviously, our FBI has been infiltrated. And obviously, our Supreme Court is supremely corrupt. And we just stand idly by. And still, you doubt that we have Russian interference? You still question that in any way? We'll tie this back into America's team. Right now, this is what America's team has become. I want to call your attention to this. We do respond to you, popular demand. A lot of people have been asking us to rerun the remarkable podcast interview that we did with the original Chicago drummer and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Danny Seraphine. This is the dangest thing you've ever seen or heard. If you've seen it before, you'll want to see it again. If you haven't seen it, you'll be really, really happy and amazed you did. We'll have that ready for you later in the day on Tuesday. Let's have a great Tuesday. Thank you for everything. We're radically rational.